This is Euclid Book 7, proposition number 20, and D. Lucans 9. I hope I get this right. I do want to thank you for all the help you provided me so far, and we're going to do our best to do this right. If I screw this up, I screwed up. Okay? Now, first thing is we're going to present the diagram. Now, if you have to, rewind the video, pause it, draw this out, whatever you have to do, fine. Okay, now, let me read this to you. It says, the least numbers of those which have the same ratio with them measure those which have the same ratio the same number of times, the greater, and the less, the less. For let CD and EF be the least numbers of those which have the same ratio with A and B. Okay? Well, A and B have a ratio. And their ratio in this case is 9 to 3. Okay? A is 9, B is 3, so as 9 is to 3. Now, CD and EF have a ratio 2. CD is 3, EF is 1. CD is to EF, 3 is to 1. So as 9 is to 3, so as 3 is to 1. Follow along so far? Okay. I say that CD measures A the same number of times that EF measures B. Okay. Well, line CD measures A 3 times, because if you chop up A into 3 equal parts, you're going to have 3, 3, and 3. Okay? And 3 plus 3 plus 3, of course, is 9. And that's how CD measures A. Now, what about EF measuring B? Well, if you divide up B, which is 3, into 3 equal parts, well, is it 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3? Of course it is. So as CD measures A, so does EF measure B. Okay? Now CD is not parts of A, for if it were possible, let it be so. So now we're going to change CD to 6, because 6 is now 2 parts of A. Okay? Because 3 plus 3 is 6, and that's 2 parts of A. Therefore, EF is also the same parts of B that CD is of A. And this is by Euclid Book 7, proposition number 13, and definition number 20. At this point, this proof takes a wild tangent. And this is why I contacted you, D. Lucans 9, because I had to compensate for this wild tangent. Let's go on here. So, if CD has to be 6 now, because it's now parts of A, then EF must now be 2, because 2 is 2 parts of 3. Okay? Therefore, as many parts of A are as there are in CD, so many parts of B are there also in EF. Okay? Well, now that we've raised the number of CD from 3 to 6, there are 2 parts of A in CD, okay, because 6 is 2 parts of 9, and there are 2 parts of EF in B, because there are 2 in EF, and B is, of course, 3, so 2 is 2 parts of 3. Let CD be divided into the parts of A, namely CG and GD. Well, CG is 3 and GD is 3. Because if you take a line that's 6 inches long, you divide it in half, you got 3 inches on the top and 3 inches on the bottom. Okay? And EF into the parts of B, mainly EH and HF. Well, EH is 1, HF is 1. Why is that? Because if you have a line that's 2 inches long, you divide it in half, boom. The top is going to be 1, the bottom is going to be 1. Okay. Thus, the multitude of CG and GD will be equal to the multitude of EH and HF. Well, CG and GD are two parts of A, and EH and HF are two parts of EF. Or, well, not EF, but B. Okay? Now, since the numbers CG and GD are equal to one another, and the numbers EH and HF are also equal to one another, because CG is 3, GD is 3, so both of those are equal, EH is 1, HF is 1, and they're equal to one another, while the multitude of CG and GD is equal to the multitude of EH and HF, therefore, as CG is to EH, so is GD to HF. Well, CG is 3, EH is 1, so we have as 3 is to 1, so is 3 is to 1 because GD is 3 and HF is 1. As 3 is to 1, so is 3 is to 1. That's fine. Therefore, also, as one of the antecedents is to one of the consequents, so will all the antecedents be to all the consequents. And this is by Euclid Book 7, proposition number 12. Therefore, as CG is to EH, so is CD to EF. Well, as 3 is to 1, so is 6 is to 2. Therefore, CG and EH are in the same ratio with CD and EF, being less than they, which is impossible, for by the hypothesis, CD and EF are the least numbers of those which have the same ratio with them. Therefore, CD is not parts of A. Therefore, it is a part of it, by Euclid Book 7, proposition number 4. And EF is the same part of B that CD is of A. Okay? Which is by Euclid Book 7, proposition number 13, and Euclid definition number 20. Therefore, CD measures A the same number of times that EF measures B. And that is the tough proof. Alright, I will tell you more in a future video. Stay tuned.